A courtroom is supposed to be the one place where order prevails, where justice unfolds in a calm, measured way. But during the hearing of Tyler Robinson, the man accused of killing conservative commentator Charlie Kirk, order broke down completely. In a shocking, violent outburst, Robinson stood up in open court and screamed, "I'll kill you all." Gasps filled the room. Security rushed in, and the moment was forever captured on camera. Tonight, we're breaking down everything. Who Tyler Robinson really is, what led to this eruption in court, how it could reshape his entire trial, and what this moment tells us about the psychological unraveling of a killer. This is the full story behind the courtroom chaos that stunned America. To understand the magnitude of this outburst, we need to go back to the beginning. Tyler Robinson wasn't a household name until tragedy thrust him into the spotlight. A troubled young man with a history of violent outbursts and unstable behavior, Robinson's life spiraled downward long before he ever crossed paths with Charlie Kirk. Reports indicate Robinson had several prior run-ins with the law. Neighbors described him as paranoid and aggressive. Former acquaintances claimed he often spoke of conspiracies and displayed unpredictable anger. Still, no one could have imagined it would culminate in murder, the killing of one of America's most polarizing political commentators. Early 2020s, Robinson begins showing signs of deteriorating mental health. Friends report bizarre rants and sudden anger. 2022. Body cam footage emerges from a police encounter, showing Robinson already hostile and combative with officers. That video has since resurfaced online, painting a chilling picture of a man spiraling out of control. 2024. Robinson allegedly starts making threats online, targeting public figures. Most dismiss it as internet chatter. 2025. The murder of Charlie Kirk shocks the nation. Robinson is arrested shortly after, thrust into a legal battle that has gripped media outlets and polarized the public. By the time of this hearing, Robinson had already become one of the most infamous figures in America. And when he stepped into that courtroom, he brought all his rage with him. Picture the scene. A packed courtroom buzzing with anticipation. On one side, Charlie Kirk's grieving family, faces pale, eyes heavy with sorrow. Their presence alone added immense weight to the proceedings. On the other side, Robinson's family sat nervously, aware that their loved one was now the center of national outrage. Reporters filled every corner, their cameras ready to capture the slightest flicker of drama. Law enforcement officers stood alert, already anticipating that Robinson might be volatile. But no one expected just how volatile. As the judge began reading the charges, Robinson's demeanor changed. At first, he muttered under his breath. His lips moved rapidly, his hands clenched and unclenched. His attorney leaned in, whispering for him to stay calm. But then, Robinson snapped. He shoved his chair back, the screech of metal echoing through the silent courtroom. His face twisted in rage as he shouted, loud enough for everyone to hear, "I'll kill you all!" The words hung in the air like a bomb going off. Gasps erupted from the audience. Reporters scrambled. The judge pounded his gavel furiously. Sheriff's deputies rushed forward, pinning Robinson to the ground as he thrashed and cursed. The hearing descended into chaos. Charlie Kirk's family froze in shock. Some covered their mouths, others bowed their heads, visibly shaken by the threat. The prosecution seized the moment instantly. They argued this was proof that Robinson wasn't just dangerous in the past, but dangerous right now, even under heavy guard in a courtroom. The defense tried to minimize the damage. Robinson's attorney urged the court to view it as an emotional breakdown, not a calculated threat. He described his client as overwhelmed, unstable, and under immense stress. But the damage was already done. The words, "I'll kill you all," would echo in the minds of jurors, reporters, and families long after Robinson was dragged out of the room. Here's where things get interesting. Courtroom outbursts aren't always random. Sometimes they're deliberate. Some defendants act out to try and convince the court they're mentally unfit to stand trial. Others do it because they can't control themselves under pressure. So, what about Robinson? Experts suggest his anger seemed raw, uncalculated, and visceral, likely not a performance. His words weren't targeted at one person, but at everyone. That kind of generalized rage points to paranoia and explosive disorder, not strategy. If true, this could complicate his trial. On one hand, it shows he's violent. On the other, it gives the defense ammunition to argue for mental instability. Either way, it makes Robinson appear deeply dangerous. This outburst could alter everything about Robinson's case. Jury perception. If this footage is played in court, jurors may see him as unstable and violent, pushing them toward a guilty verdict. Sentencing. Judges consider behavior in court when issuing sentences. Threatening to kill everyone could mean harsher punishment. Bail decisions. If there was even a slim chance of bail before, that chance evaporated instantly. Robinson's not going anywhere. Mental health defense. The defense may now pivot toward claiming Robinson was too mentally unstable to know what he was doing, something this meltdown could support. In other words, Robinson's own words may have sealed his fate. The video of Robinson's outburst spread online within hours. Clips circulated on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, racking up millions of views. Public reaction was divided. Many called it terrifying, saying it revealed the true nature of a killer. Others argued it showed a man broken by the system, lashing out in desperation. News outlets dissected every frame of the footage, while political commentators debated what Robinson's anger meant. The outburst didn't just disrupt a courtroom, it ignited a nationwide conversation. Courtroom threats aren't taken lightly. Security officers are trained for these moments, and Robinson's words will now be entered into the official court record. Judges have wide discretion in how they handle such outbursts. Some will order additional security, restrict a defendant's movements, or even hold them in contempt of court. In Robinson's case, many believe this will lead to much tighter restrictions at all future hearings. Shackles, heavier guard presence, and stricter rules are almost guaranteed. This wasn't just a tantrum. It was a direct death threat in front of a judge. The murder of Charlie Kirk was already one of the most divisive and shocking crimes of the decade. Now, Robinson's chilling outburst in court has cast an even darker shadow over the case. The words, "I'll kill you all," will follow him through the rest of this trial. The question is, was this the real Tyler Robinson, the dangerous, violent man prosecutors say he is? Or was it the desperate act of a broken individual trying to manipulate the system into believing he's insane? One thing is certain. This case is far from over. This story is only getting more intense, and every day brings new twists. Make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Robinson's outburst was genuine rage? Or was it part of a calculated strategy to avoid punishment? Let's talk about it below. Stay tuned, because the next chapter in this case is coming soon.